The safe's door hung open like a fresh wound, its contents gutted, empty folders, scattered papers, and the glaring void where the future once nestled. Alex Harper's hands trembled as he knelt on the cold hardwood floor of their Boston brownstone, the metallic tang of panic rising in his throat. Because $87,000, their son's college fund, scraped together from overtime shifts and skipped vacations, had vanished overnight. "Dad? Why are you crying?" Jamie's small voice pierced the silence from the hallway, his 12-year-old eyes wide with the innocence that made this theft feel like matricide. And in that moment, Alex knew their world had cracked irreparably, with his husband Ben's shadow lurking in every unanswered text. Alex wiped his face with the back of his hand, smearing the salt of betrayal across his knuckles, and forced a smile that felt like shattered glass. It was a Saturday morning in early fall, the kind where maple leaves tap-danced outside the kitchen window like nothing was wrong. But everything was. Ben had left for a business trip 2 days ago, his suitcase heavier than usual, his kiss goodbye rushed and mechanical. They'd built this life together over 15 years. Alex, the high school history teacher with calloused hands from coaching soccer. Ben, the slick financial advisor whose charm had once lit up rooms like fireworks. And Jamie, their miracle boy, adopted from a foster system that had chewed him up before they pulled him into their fold at age 5. Gay marriage had been legal for a decade when they tied the knot in a backyard ceremony under string lights, vowing forever amid laughter and craft beers. But forevers, Alex was learning, were as fragile as the dreams they funded. He'd noticed the cracks first in little ways. A late night here, a vague expense report there. Ben's eyes, once warm whiskey-brown pools that pulled Alex in during their college days at BU, had grown distant, like storm clouds rolling over the Charles River. Last Christmas, Ben had surprised them with a trip to Provincetown. Just the 3 of them bundled in scarves against the Cape Cod wind, Jamie building sandcastles while Alex and Ben stole kisses behind the dunes. "You're my anchor," Ben had whispered, his breath fogging the air, and Alex had believed it, because what else do you do when love feels like the only solid ground? But now, staring at the depleted account statements printed from their joint online banking, transfers to offshore accounts, withdrawals masked as client fees, Alex's chest tightened with the raw ache of a love turned venomous. "Dad, is it about the safe, Mama?" Dad, Ben said not to touch it. Jamie hovered in the doorway, his skinny frame swallowed by an oversized Red Sox hoodie, the one Ben had bought him last summer at Fenway. 12. Jamie was all limbs and curiosity, with Alex's freckles dusting his nose and Ben's sharp jawline hinting at the man he'd become. He clutched his tablet like a shield, pixels glowing with some coding game he'd been obsessed with lately, lines of Python scrolling like secrets only he could decipher. Alex's heart twisted. This boy, who'd come to them scared of his own shadow after years in the system, deserved better than a father who gambled away his shot at Yale or wherever his brilliant mind took him. It's a mistake, buddy," Alex lied, standing to ruffle Jamie's hair, the gesture automatic but hollow. "Go grab some pancakes from the freezer. I'll handle this." Jamie nodded, but his eyes, those piercing green ones that saw too much, lingered, filing away the fracture like data points in one of his programs. As the boy padded to the kitchen, Alex sank onto the couch, phone in hand, dialing Ben's number for the 15th time since dawn. Straight to voicemail again. "Hey, it's Ben Harper. Leave a message. I'll circle back." Circle back. The phrase mocked him now, a corporate euphemism for abandonment. By noon, Alex had pieced together the trail. Ben's business trips weren't to Chicago for client meetings but to Atlantic City, where high-stakes poker tables whispered promises to men like him, charming, ambitious, unraveling. The college fund. That sacred nest egg Alex had guarded like a dragon since Jamie's adoption papers were signed, had been siphoned off in chunks. $10,000 here for a bad beat. $20,000 there to chase a flush. Rage bubbled up, hot and unfamiliar, but beneath it lurked the deeper wound, the intimacy of the theft. Ben knew every password, every pin, because they'd shared everything. Late-night confessions in their queen bed, the way Alex's fingers traced Ben's spine during thunderstorms, the quiet vows renewed over anniversary coffees. How could he? The front door buzzed. Unexpected. A lifeline. Alex bolted up, heart hammering, half praying it was Ben with some miracle explanation. Instead, it was Elena, his sister, barreling in with her no-nonsense bob haircut and a tote bag slung over her shoulder, smelling faintly of the yoga studio she ran in Cambridge. Your text was cryptic as hell. Alex. Family emergency. Need you. Spill. She dropped the bag, eyeing the disarray, her lawyer's instincts kicking in as she scanned the papers. He collapsed into her arms, the dam breaking in sobs that shook his broad shoulders. Elena held him tight, her voice a steady anchor. That son of a bitch. I've got contacts at the firm, we'll freeze the accounts. But even as she plotted legal warfare, Alex's mind wandered to Jamie, now at the kitchen table, headphones on, typing furiously into his tablet. The boy had always been their quiet genius, hacking together apps for fun, once even rigging the smart fridge to play dad jokes. If only he could fix this, Alex thought bitterly, as the afternoon sun slanted through the blinds, casting long shadows that felt like accusations. Dinner was a farce, frozen pizzas charred at the edges, Jamie picking at his slice while Alex stared at his plate, Elena fielding calls to financial regulators. Ben's phone's off the grid, she reported, her face grim. Last ping was a casino in Jersey. The word casino landed like a slap, conjuring images of Ben hunched over green felt, chips clinking like false hopes. Jamie's fork clattered. Dad, can I show you something? He slid the tablet over, screen alive with a spreadsheet, timelines of transfers, IP addresses traced to Ben's laptop, even a heat map of his business logins. I noticed stuff acting weird last month. Figured I'd check. Alex blinked, pride warring with fresh grief. Jamie, that's how. The boy shrugged, cheeks flushing. Just code. Like debugging a game. Elena whistled low. Kid's a natural. But Alex, we need to talk to him, Ben. Confrontation might shake loose the rest. As night fell, the brownstone creaked with unspoken fears, Alex tucking Jamie in with a story about revolutionary spies, his voice cracking on tales of loyalty. Alone in his bedroom, he scrolled old photos. Ben and Jamie high-fiving at a Bruins game, Alex's arm around Ben's waist on their honeymoon in the Berkshires, leaves like fire around them. Love, he thought, was a hearth, warm, enduring. Now it smoldered, ashes of trust scattered by one man's greed. Sleep evaded him, the clock ticking past 2 a.m. When his phone buzzed, not Ben, but an anonymous email. A grainy photo of Ben at a roulette wheel, arm around a stranger, a stack of bills between them. Attached, coordinates to a motel in Philly. Alex's blood ran cold. Betrayal wasn't just financial. It was visceral, a knife twist in the gut of their shared history. He forwarded it to Elena, then lay awake, the cities hum a distant lullaby, wondering if dawn would bring redemption or ruin. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving over Boston, the Charles River shrouded in mist like a secret half-kept. Alex hadn't slept, his eyes gritty as he brewed coffee strong enough to strip paint, the bitter steam curling around memories he couldn't scald away. Jamie was up early, unusually quiet, backpack slung over one shoulder as he shoveled cereal. "School today?" Alex asked, voice rough. The boy nodded, but his gaze flicked to the safe's outline under the stairs. "Yeah. But Dad, if Ben comes back." The sentence hung, unfinished, a child's hope fraying at the edges. Alex knelt, cupping Jamie's face. "We'll face it together. Okay. You're my brave one." A hug, fierce and fleeting. Then the school bus honked outside, swallowing their boy into the yellow belly of routine. Elena arrived at 8 a.m. Sharp, laptop open on the dining table, her fingers flying across keys like a pianist composing fury. "I filed for an emergency injunction. Freezes any remaining assets. But we need Ben to surface." That email? Traced to a burner. She paused, softening. "Alex, I'm sorry. You two were magic. Magic." The word stung, evoking their first date. Ben, 22 and cocky, challenging Alex to a snowball fight in the common, ending with them tangled in laughter and snow, lips meeting tentative under street lamps. They'd built from their foster classes, adoption hearings, the judge's gavel sealing their family like a spell. Now, the wand was broken. By mid-morning, the house felt like a crime scene, yellow legal pads scrawled with timelines, Elena pacing as she grilled Alex on details. "Any signs of an affair?" "Debts he hid." Alex shook his head. But doubt gnawed those late calls. The cologne sharper lately, a hotel key fob once forgotten in the couch cushions. He said it was work stress. Clients tanking in the market. Elena snorted. More like his own tanking luck. She drafted a demand letter, words like daggers, restitution, separation, custody. Custody of their son, the light they'd co-parented through scraped knees and science fairs. The thought clawed at Alex. Ben had been the fun dad, the one tossing Jamie into the air at barbecues, while Alex grounded them with bedtime rituals and packed lunches. A knock shattered the tension. Detective Lara Voss, badge glinting, her no-frills pantsuit screaming efficiency. Elena had pulled strings. Financial fraud crossed into criminal if intent was proven. "Mr. Harper," Voss said, shaking his hand firm, her dark eyes scanning the room. "Walk me through it." Alex did, voice steadying as he laid out the betrayal. The fund, seated with his teacher's pension matches and Ben's bonuses, meant for Jamie's dreams, MIT coding camps, maybe, or Berkeley's robotics lab. Voss nodded, jotting notes. Gambling's a beast. Seen it unravel good men. But theft from a minor's account? That's felony territory. Got a tip on his location. Alex slid the phone with the email across. She whistled. "Philly Motel. I'll dispatch." As Voss left, promising warrants, Alex's phone lit up. A text from Ben. "We need to talk. Meet me at the old spot. 6 p.m. Come alone." The old spot, their bench by the frog pond, where proposals and promises had bloomed like spring tulips. Heart pounding, Alex pocketed the phone. Elena protested, "Take backup," but he waved her off. "This is ours to end." The afternoon dragged, Alex wandering the neighborhood, past the park where Jamie learned to ride a bike, Ben cheering louder than anyone. Nostalgia twisted like a knife. Their love had been a quiet revolution, two men defying odds in a city that still whispered judgments. Ben's touch had been Alex's rebellion. Fingers interlaced in public, a fuck you to the world. 5 p.m. Found him at the bench, fog rising off the water, joggers blurring into ghosts. Ben appeared like a specter, disheveled in a rumpled button-down, eyes bloodshot, the man who'd once turned heads now hollowed by shadows. "Alex," he breathed, collapsing beside him, close enough for the faint whiskey scent to betray him. I fucked up. Bad. The words tumbled. Debts from poker nights that started as harmless fun. A client loss snowballing into desperation. The fund as a temporary bridge. But Alex saw the lie in the averted gaze. The thrill of the bet. The high eclipsing family. Jamie, Alex whispered, voice breaking. Our son. How could you steal his future? Ben's hand reached for his. A ghost of intimacy. But Alex recoiled. It was one time, well, a few. I was gonna pay it back. One big last week. Almost had it. Almost. The word echoed. A siren's call that had lured him under. Tears tracked Ben's cheeks, mirroring Alex's own. And for a heartbeat, the old pull surged. Forgiveness as easy as falling back into bed. Bodies remembering what minds forgot. I love you, Ben murmured, leaning in, lips brushing Alex's ear like a plea. We can fix this. For Jamie. But the bench felt colder, the pond's ripples mocking their fracture. Alex pulled away, the weight of Elena's warnings, Voss's badge, Jamie's trusting eyes anchoring him. Love doesn't empty safes, Ben. It fills them. He stood, legs unsteady, the city's lights flickering on like judgmental stars. Ben grabbed his wrist. Wait, please. But Alex shook free, walking into the dusk, the echo of their first kiss drowned by the splash of betrayal. Back home, Jamie waited, tablet glowing. Did you see him? The boy asked, perceptive as ever. Alex nodded, sinking beside him, the weight of the day crushing. Yeah. Complicated. Jamie turned the screen. A digital trail. Ben's emails decrypted, revealing not just theft but an affair. Late-night texts to a consultant named Riley. Casino rendezvous laced with flirtation. I didn't mean to snoop, Dad. But you were sad. Alex's throat closed. His son, barely 12, piecing together their ruin like a puzzle he shouldn't solve. Pride swelled amid the pain. This boy, forged in loss, turning sharp edges into tools. Night deepened. Alex reading to Jamie about Lewis and Clark's uncharted wilds. Their expedition a metaphor for the unknown ahead. As sleep claimed the boy, Alex lingered, brushing hair from his forehead, whispering vows Ben had broken. Downstairs, Elena brewed tea, her presence a bulwark. Voss called Ben's hold up. They're moving in tomorrow. Tomorrow. The word promised reckoning. But Alex's heart ached for the man Ben had been, the one who danced with him at P-Town Pride, rainbow flags waving like freedom's won. Love, he realized, wasn't a straight line. It bent, broke, but perhaps reformed in the shards. Monday morning crashed in with sirens wailing distant, a prelude to the storm Voss had promised. Alex woke to Jamie's alarm, some chiptune remix of the Star Wars theme, the boy's energy a defiant spark against the gloom. Pancakes, Jamie asked, already at the stove, flipping with exaggerated flair. Alex managed a laugh, the sound rusty, joining him in the ritual that Ben used to mock as domestic drudgery. Now, it felt like armor. Flour-dusted counters, syrup sticky on fingers, the simple sacrament of father-son survival. Elena texted, stay put. Cops en route to Philly. Alex's stomach nodded. Confrontation loomed, not just legal, but soul-deep. School drop-off was a blur. Jamie's backpack heavy with books and secrets, his wave from the bus a talisman. Alex returned to find Voss at the door, coffee in hand, her partner's burly frame filling the frame behind. We got him, she said flatly, ushering them inside. Motel raid at dawn. Your hubby's singing like a canary. Full confession. offshore accounts, the works, relief ward with revulsion. Ben, cornered, folding under pressure. Voss spread photos. Ben in cuffs, face ashen, casino chips scattered like confetti from hell. He implicated the affair guy too. Riley's a mark, not a mastermind. But the fund? That's wire fraud. 10 years minimum. Alex sank into a chair, the room spinning. 10 years. The math blurred. Jamie turning 22 in a cell, missing graduations. The man his son became. And the money? Voss shrugged. Recoverable, maybe half. Feds are on it. Half. A bandage on a severed limb. Elena arrived mid-briefing, her briefcase a war chest. We'll push for restitution in family court. Custody's mine. Full to you, Alex. The words landed soft, a victory laced with loss. As Voss departed, promising updates, the house exhaled, tension uncoiling into numb quiet. But quiet bred ghosts. Alex wandered to the garage. Ben's workbench a shrine to half-finished projects. A birdhouse for Jamie's aviary dreams. Tools rusted from neglect. He remembered Ben's hands. Strong, veined, once cupping his face after a bad parent-teacher night. Thumbs wiping tears with tenderness. You're the heart of us, Ben had said. And Alex had melted, their bodies aligning in the dim light, a rhythm of reassurance. Sex had been their language, post-argument olive branches in tangled sheets. But now memory soured, every touch suspect. Was it ever real, or just a performance for the fund? The facade? A call shattered reverie, Ben. From holding. Alex. God. I'm sorry. Let me explain. His voice cracked, raw over the line. It started small, poker with clients. Then, the rush. Riley was nothing, a distraction from the hole I dug. Alex gripped the phone, knuckles white. A hole you dug with our son's future. Ben. Jamie, he hacked your emails. Saw it all. Silence. Then a sob. That kid. He's too smart for this mess. Tell him I love him. Love. The word weaponized now. A beggar's plea. Earn it back, Alex said. Hanging up. The dial tone of finality. Afternoon brought Jamie home early. Suspension? No. A half day for teacher in service. His face alight with purpose. Dad. I did something. He led Alex to his room. Posters of Elon Musk and Ada Lovelace beaming down. The desk a command center. Multiple screens. Code scrolling like waterfalls. Tracked the money. Not all gone. Jamie explained. Breathless, using open-source tools. He'd mapped the transfers to a crypto wallet. Then alerted a watchdog group via anonymous tip. They say it's reversible. Like blockchain forensics. Alex stared, awe swelling. His boy, 12 and fierce, wielding digital justice like a slingshot against Goliath. Pride crested into tears. Alex pulling Jamie close, the hug a dam against despair. You're incredible, but dangerous. Promise me no more hacking without me. Jamie grinned, gap-toothed. Deal. But Dad. What about Ben? The question hung. Innocent shrapnel. Alex sighed, sitting on the bed's edge. He's lost right now. We loved him once. Maybe we can again. But different. Honesty. Raw as fresh cuts. Jamie nodded, absorbing, his resilience a mirror to Alex's own. Evening unfolded in fragile normalcy. Elena joining for takeout Thai. Voss updating via text. Charges filed. Extradition underway. But as plates cleared, the doorbell rang. A courier with Ben's effects. Wallet. Watch. A scrawled note. To Jamie. Your future's brighter than my mistakes. Love. Dad B. Alex's chest caved. The watch, engraved with their anniversary, ticked accusatory. He pocketed it, joining Jamie on the couch for a movie, The Incredibles, Capes and Family Bonds a Bomb. Midway, Jamie paused it. I miss him, but I miss us more. The core, unbreakable. Night cloaked the city, Alex patrolling the house like a sentinel, checking locks against shadows. Sleep came fitful, dreams of Ben's laugh morphing to chains rattling. Dawn's light filtered gray again when Voss called. He's en route. Bail hearing tomorrow. You testifying? Alex glanced at Jamie, asleep with tablet clutched like Excalibur. Yeah. For justice. The word tasted like ash. But beneath burned resolve, their story rewriting. Not ending. Yet climax brewed unseen. Jamie, unable to sleep, slipped downstairs, fingers dancing over keys. One final trace. Ben's hidden server, spilling not just finances but letters. Ben's confessions to a journal app. Admissions of addiction's grip. Pleas for help ignored in hubris. I chose the table over my family, one read. Jamie's eyes welled. Betrayal's layers peeled, revealing a man drowning, not devious. He emailed Voss anonymously, evidence for mercy. Perhaps. 12. Justice wasn't vengeance. It was truth, a bridge over chasms. The bail hearing dawned crisp. Autumn's bite sharpening the air as Alex navigated Boston's courthouse, a labyrinth of marble and murmured regrets. Jamie stayed with Elena. School project, the lie gentle, but his digital fingerprints lingered, Voss's puzzled texts hinting at new evidence. Alex sat rigid in the gallery, heart a war drum, as Ben shuffled in, orange jumpsuit clashing with his pallor, cuffs clinking like bad omens. The judge, a stern woman with silver-streaked hair, intoned charges, embezzlement, fraud, endangerment of a minor. Ben's lawyer spun desperation, addiction, not malice, pleading for release to rehab. Alex's turn came. He rose, voice steady despite the quake inside. Your Honor, he began, eyes locking Ben's across the room. Ben Harper was my husband, father to our son. He built us up, then tore us down. Not with fists, but with choices. That fund wasn't money. It was Jamie's ticket out of the uncertainty we gave him when we adopted him. 7 years of love, scraped into savings. Pauses for breath. The gallery hushed. But I see the man he was, the one who cried at our wedding, who taught our boy to fish in the Neponset. Addiction's a thief too. I ask for justice, not just punishment. Mercy laced his words. Humanistic plea amid the gavel's threat. Ben's gaze softened, a flicker of the whiskey warmth, tears mirroring Alex's silent ones. Bail denied, flight risk. The judge ruled, but rehab mandated. Restitution tracked. As deputies led Ben away, their eyes held. Apology unspoken, forgiveness a seed in cracked soil. Outside, Elena waited, arm linking his. Proud of you. That was grace. Grace. The word echoed their vows. Now reframed. Alex nodded, the weight lifting fractional, the Charles glinting defiant under weak sun. Home beckoned. Jamie's project, revealed as a family tree app. Branches for Harper's past and future. Ben's spot dimmed but not erased. For when he's better, the boy said, hugging Alex fierce. Weeks blurred. Therapy sessions for them both. Alex's classroom a refuge of maps and midterms. Jamie's coding club buzzing with teen inventors. The fund recovered 60%. Fed's blockchain wizards. Jamie's tip key, enough for community college and dreams deferred but not dead. Ben wrote letters from lockup. First to Jamie. Stories of his own boyhood losses. Promises etched in ink. You're my hero, kid. Fix what I broke. Alex read them aloud on rainy Sundays, voice cracking on Ben's regrets. The affair a numbing fog, casinos a false fire, distance bred clarity. Alex dated tentatively, coffee with Mark from the gym, a widower with kind eyes and kayaking tales. No sparks yet, but possibility bloomed, romantic whispers in a heart once monopolized. Ben's trial loomed winter, plea deal in works, 3 years probation, community service at a shelter, fitting poetic. Justice, Jamie called it, his 12-year-old wisdom a balm. Not perfect, but fair. Christmas approached, snow dusting the brownstone like forgiveness. They decorated solo, Jamie stringing lights, Alex baking gingerbread men with lopsided grins. A package arrived, Ben's gift, smuggled via Elena, a locket for Jamie, inside a photo of 3 faces laughing at Disney World. Inscription, Family Ben's, doesn't break. Tears fell, but joyful now, the boy clasping it tight. Can we visit him? Alex nodded. Holidays in visiting rooms, awkward but healing. Ben's hand pressing glass to Alex's in silent thanks. Spring thawed the ice, cherry blossoms rioting pink along the esplanade. Alex and Jamie picnicked there, kites soaring like freed hopes. Ben's release neared, supervised. Sober, a second chance earned in letters and labor. Alex felt the pull still, not as blaze but ember, romantic embers banked for time's test. One evening, post-dinner walk, Jamie tugged his sleeve. Dad, you think love's like code? Full of bugs, but patchable. Alex chuckled, ruffling hair. Yeah, buddy. And you're the best debugger I know. Summer hummed in. Ben's first furlough, a tentative lunch at Legal Seafoods. Clams steaming. Awkward silences bridged by Jamie's chatter. Ben, leaner, eyes clearer, reached across. I don't deserve you too. Alex met his hand halfway. Earn it. Start here. No kiss. No rush, just connection. Humanistic and hard won. A family reforged in fire's wake. Years later, Jamie at 18. Acceptance letter to Northeastern in hand. Fund patched. Dreams intact. Toasts them at graduation. To the hackers of hearts, the thieves who return what's stolen. Ben, sober 5 years. Arm around Alex's waist. Their bond evolved, partners again. Cautious. Deeper. Love, American as apple pie and second acts. Proved resilient. Dramatic falls, suspenseful climbs, emotional depths yielding to romantic horizons. In the crowd, Elena cheers loudest, the circle complete. Justice wasn't vengeance. It was this mending, moving, a boy's courage turning betrayal to belonging.